The living room, where the family meets to discuss issues, any issue which may be bothering one of the family members. That's what we do each and every Tuesday on WAC 90.1 FM with Ricardo Mitchell and DJ Aaron 868. We have casual conversations on serious topics, from sports to culture, mental health to economics, relationships to life lessons. Join us each and every Tuesday on WAC 90.1 FM. The Living Room, casual conversations on serious topics.
Was that you were singing there?
You know, I was doing I was testing my pitch. Me.
Yeah, off key there.
I wouldn't doubt it.
Yeah, Kenny would not be pleased.
I don't think I've pleased Kenny in 8 years. So, what are you gonna do, buddy? And having said that sentence,
that was not.
Yeah. That's a terrible way to start.
I don't know if Kenny pleases Kenny, honestly.
Hey, nah, but the man's standards impeccable. I've seen him be dissatisfied with excellence in his relentless pursuit of perfection, and you know that it kind of works though.
But is it that we are always supposed to be always striving for perfection, or could excellence suffice?
I believe that perfection is the enemy of excellence, because in the pursuit of perfection, chasing that last 1%, sometimes you lose out.
You sacrifice your 98.
Yeah, and so I get it. Let's put it this way: a lot more gets done when you take out 90, 95 and you move on, than if you chase that 100. And this is coming from a reformed perfectionist. I realize that spending out $10,000 to make a cent and make no kind of sense.
You know, there's so much I could say about that based on the current events of our country, but I'll just let that slide. First and foremost, let's kick this off. No, wait, it is now about 2 minutes after 6 p.m. here in Trinidad and Tobago. I don't know what time it is where you are, but I'm happy to know you're locked onto the true nation station, WACK 90.1 FM, where we are
Culture crazy.
Firstly, let's kick this off as we always do. Must give thanks and praises to Almighty for granting us the gift of life and seeing another day. No matter what time of day it is, you must always
give thanks.
Secondly, we must say thank you to those that went before us, and we are not just talking about our ancestors, the original inhabitants of Trinidad and Tobago, because we all know, accept, and reiterate that we say it with the chest that Columbus lied. But also to our brother in music, Tony Prescott, where the P this week stands for
prestidigitation, Aaron.
What?
Prestidigitation.
That's your real syllables.
Yeah, it's a lot. This is one of my favorite words because of what it represents. Prestidigitation is another word for sleight of hand or trickery, the art of intentional distraction, often used in the performance of theatrical magic tricks. So what happens is you look at one hand and the other hand is what performs. That's just my word because I like it. It's a nice word. As a communicator, I've often practiced prestidigitation because I don't know if you know this, but I'm pretty good at changing our topic. So, you know, my ability to avoid answering questions or even, holding personal accountability for something that might be responsible for can get lost in the parade of expression that I present. Like so what I did just now.
So much I want to say again, huh?
Maybe I might be ready. I might be ready for ministerial work. Who knows?
You teach other people that, or?
Let's just say that some are far more practiced in it than I am. And it appears to be rewarding them. But what you can do?
And I'm going to say some are far more practiced in it, and there are others who can't even piece it together in such a way that it could distract.
All I'm saying is that I've seen some things over the past couple of days, and while there is ample cause for concern, there are things that I am more concerned about that have gotten considerably less attention. So
One of the things, as you're talking about things like concern, right? The Wi-Fi, when it connects, right, has a big issue with the fact that as men, we don't relate to each other on a first name basis.
the Wi-Fi is saying.
Yeah, the Wi-Fi saying that, we do, as men, don't relate to each other on a first name basis. There's always a nickname,
Fair.
right? And I think as men, that's just how we communicate. I have partners for years I have known playing football with, and I never knew their real name.
Yeah. The people have requested my friendship on Facebook, and I had no idea who it was by name.
Correct.
Yeah.
So I think in and not just men, in Trini terms, there's always a tall boy or Ras, or I have a brethren, he's called him Sandpatch.
Okay.
Yeah. Right?
Yeah.
So the other day while perusing Facebook, I would have seen a post asking for donations for someone by the name of Kevin Ferrier. And I read in this thing, it's like, who is this man? Who is this man?
Word.
And only afterwards, somebody decided to change the post and put Marty.
Right.
And that's when I realized, I know this man. So now it puts into perspective, when there's a funeral and you see a funeral brochure, you will see John Tallboy Do. Because in his community, he would have been known as Tallboy.
Yeah.
So now it puts it into perspective, the importance of including a nickname when you may be asking for donations, or you may be filing a missing persons report, or something of the sort, because to you is John Doe, but to the average man down the road is Tallboy.
Yeah. Yeah, I get it. Because likewise, like I know Marty as a barber for
Who?
Marty.
Kevin.
Right. For years, he's never been my barber, but he is the barber to the stars. In the sense that
I thought that was the next one that eyes go by.
who Bobby B?
Yeah.
Yeah, Robert is this generation barber to the stars. But Marty was the guy that
Oh, that's your generation.
my generation, yeah, actually. And honestly, when I saw the post at first, I was like, wait, right, yes, oh my gosh, word. And I was thinking about it, Aaron, and I'm glad that you brought it up. But there's something I would like to do first, though. This is Ricardo Mitchell, the 10 City Sage on the global stage. And just my esteemed co-host, Aaron 868, current CSS code. Right, because people didn't know who they was
What?
listening to. Code
What?
is a currency. Code is a code.
Ricardo, this is at least 170 something shows we have worked on in terms of the digital episode. We have worked on at least, let's just stick with the digital episodes that people could watch us on WAC.tv or WAC on YouTube, or even on Aaron 868 on YouTube.
Living room playlist, yeah.
Living room playlist. You,
Currency is now a code?
culture is my code,
Mm-hmm.
but love is the currency, so spend some today.
Oh, okay. So what I was doing there, Aaron, was suggesting that if you don't want to be misrepresented, present yourself. That's a piece of height stake, but we could move on.
Another
so I've
distraction,
known-
but go ahead.
Yeah, you see what I did? Completely cover my error and, just, turned it into a, philosophical point. But Marty as a barber, he's been the guy for years.
Yeah.
And it was because, again, with this nickname thing, I didn't even know for years that I knew his sister. Right? I think it's from like confirmation classes or something. So you're talking about 30 years ago. And when I saw the post, it kind of hit me because this is my generation. You have a couple of years on, man, but this is my generation. My brethren going by Marty to cut hair and thing. And what can I do to He's not my barber. He's not we're not friends on Facebook or anything like that, but he's part of the community that helped raise me. Right? And I guess even talking about it now in a moment of candor to recognize that you never really know, this person who need your assistance might really just be a degree or two of separation away now.
Yeah. And that's the thing. Trinidad is a small place. But before I get into that, what we are speaking about there is a gentleman by the name of Kevin Ferrier, if you know him as Marty. He has been diagnosed with stage 4 thyroid cancer and needs life-saving medical treatment abroad, and he's having a fundraising curfew on this Friday. So Ricardo will probably graphic, and if not, if you're looking for further info, 684-2383.
All
right? Yeah.
And 684-2383. Cool.
Right? So with that being said, and funny thing enough, as they talk about the 2 degrees of separation, everybody in Trinidad knows somebody who knows somebody.
Yeah.
Right? And it could be for something good, it could be for something bad. Everybody knows somebody who knows somebody. And what I strongly dislike, don't, as the old people just say, don't urinate on my foot and call it rain.
Here's your back, but go ahead.
How do you reach on my back door?
Hey, I guess it depends on the position what one assumes in said urination. Anyway, go. Let you finish. This is me actively listening. Let me let you finish.
You just made my whole point moot.
Moot, you say, right?
Moot.
Okay, cool.
Moot everything on at the same time, because boy, oh boy, that just went totally left.
You know, if you had gone left, it would not land on your foot. Anyway, go ahead, Aaron. You're saying something.
You man, bring it back enough. Right? But we all know somebody who knows somebody. Yeah. So when things happen, 2 of the fastest news that is spread is death news and bacchanal. And last Friday in Trinidad and Tobago, we would have experienced the latter, where something took place and everybody knew somebody who knew somebody who knew somebody. And you know the classic, the now classic, the voice notes start to circulate. It was at that point where panic would have ensued on Friday. Some of the same people who know somebody who knows somebody who knows somebody started to make calls to their direct families and say, hey, go and pick up this one, make sure and do this, make sure and do that. And you know how we love to forward a message, so much so that those morning messages that our elderly family members send, there's have 3 and 4 of the little forward arrows, and you see forwarded many times.
Yeah.
Right? Now, what took place last Friday was something which was a moment of panic within our country. And I'm using panic very lightly here. We as a population, we need to be more aware of what is going on and verify things. But at the same time, where there's an absence of clear communication, there's nothing to be verified against. So while we have our own level of personal responsibility, there is a higher level of responsibility which lies with those above us in terms of positions of power within our nation to properly communicate with us what is taking place. I do understand that there are things that cannot be said, because you have to call a spade a spade. But not everything is to divulge in jest. Some things could only be divulged after the fact, or be divulged when the moment is right. So we need to take stock of it and accept that not everything could be said at that exact moment you need it to be said. However, You cannot be the head of a home or the head of a family or the head of a country and a question is posed to you and you say, I don't know.
Let me get say you don't know. If you don't know, you don't know.
If you don't know, you don't know.
You're rather the baffle you with some buffoonery.
Was the word you used to start off today's show?
Prestidigitation.
Thank you very much. Hit me with, let me get back to you on that.
Also, what you're suggesting is some professionalism and tact.
Yes.
Okay. Cool,
Right.
cool.
Now, with all those things being said there, one thing that I continue to take out of it, and as a man used to watch my sitcoms and things, I still do, but not as avidly as before. On Friday, Trinidad and Tobago needed an Olivia Pope. We needed somebody to grab the reins and properly communicate with the population. With the things that could have been said, the things that should not have been said, and the things that, hey, it's alright, we safe, we Gucci. If the young people they still say that, I don't even know.
I have no idea.
I'll ask my resident young person.
You realize the resident young person getting older?
Is he, Brian?
How old is he?
21, 22?
Okay, so there's a generation of teen that considers him
Old.
a big man. Old.
Yeah, boy.
Anyway. Yeah. I get what you're saying, Aaron, and I agree. In the absence of clarity, you leave room for anxiety, which feeds a spirit of fear. And the danger with that is we could end up in one or two scenarios, whether is foul or foul play, because you either end up with a Chicken Little situation where the sky is falling, or foul play.
But remember, even though the sky falling, don't believe everything you see on social media.
Right. But in the absence of the truth, speculation will run rampant, right? But there's either foul in the sense that it's Chicken Little situation or foul play, where when the little boy cries wolf enough times that when the wolf shows up, nobody takes it seriously.
Correct is right.
We are in a situation where we are cockroach in our foul party, and we are the ants. No, we are the ants and the elephants fighting, right? What this week has shown is that it took a lot for us to take the situation as serious as it can be and might still be. I do recognize that there are people who didn't get paid for October yet. And here the catch, we haven't heard a word about that except from the individuals within the space who haven't gotten paid.
Actually, well, I have been seeing posts about it.
Okay.
And then the question was posed to the Minister of Finance in the House of Representatives meeting on Friday last. There's so, again, the as you say, the lack of clear communication leaves room for foul or foul play.
Chicken Little and wolves.
The catch in it is there's something that constantly, not from a financial perspective, but this is not financial or anything like that. This is just in a numbers perspective. When, like, I don't get how, as adults, well, for us, we are talking here, Ricardo. As adults, we could sit and turn to unrecognized establishments or news houses for our credible news.
Let me ask you a question, Aaron. Are we credible? Are you and I credible?
No, we are not.
So does that mean that what we say should be disqualified?
You see, the thing is, for us, we provide commentary. And just a point to note here, if you happen to tune in now, you probably need to go back on Aaron 868, DJ Aaron 868 YouTube page to catch the previous part of the conversation. Because I think what a lot happens now is we look for that clickbait period.
Yeah, the sound bite.
That sound bite. And it's always taken out of context.
Sometimes.
So,
mostly. It's often taken out of context.
Always. I say always.
Yeah, bro. I very seldom use always and never. But go ahead.
I use an always. It's the song bite is be the moment that everybody wants to hear, so that you get the like, you get the comment, you get the share. But it always leaves that point where, wait, how we get to that? So let's put it into a real life example here. Cardo, you looking old there, boy.
Yeah, that's a great. Very great.
No, but that's the soundbite moment.
I work hard on this forward brow, you know.
What?
I mean, like my forward brow. I think like looking like I just think a lot would I help me look wiser. Yeah, no? Seriously, all right, here, let me ask you a question. How many smooth forehead people you trust when it comes to a crisis? How many smooth forehead people do you trust when it comes to a crisis? When it comes to a crisis, you want somebody who look like us, is really thinking about what they're going to say next.
Two things I look for when it comes to crisis communication. One, you must have some gray hair.
Wow. You mean ages now?
If you don't have gray hair, bald.
Wow. That is a whole other thing that we will discuss in person, because I don't want nothing that come out of that conversation on the record. But what's the second? Yeah, go ahead. Second thing.
The second thing, glasses.
Hey, I happen to be balding with gray hair and glasses. I happen to be all three. 3 out of the 2.
You're balding?
I'm overqualified. Yeah, you see what's going on there?
I have a joke for you, but I'll leave that another time.
Yeah. Hey, we can't be doing inside jokes on air by here on by.
No. This is not inside joke. It's a public joke, but I didn't want to bring it up now. So over this weekend,
let's see what I do there. Let's see what I do. Only inside now.
You tell it away for myself. Well done.
In the know.
You tell it away for myself. But I rarely ever try to make. Wow. I rarely ever try to make public appearances without my head being properly shaved.
Right. True.
Rarely.
Yeah. True.
Saturday morning, I went to my usual Saturday morning sweat. And older gentleman watched me and he was like, "But you just like me?" No, this gentleman is probably in his 60s, late 60s, early 70s. And he's like, "But you just like me?" I say, "What do you mean there, boy?" He said, "I had the same haircut, boy." Yeah, boy. I say, "Wait, boy."
Yeah, the roof leaking.
This is the last time I'm coming here without my head properly shaved on.
Hey.
Yeah. But there are certain things you look for in terms of characteristics of, I don't want to say persons to trust, but in certain situations, that the person you'll go to.
Yeah, but that's part of the problem too. We are probably some of the oldest politicians in the world right now. You're seeing more and more younger people getting the opportunity to lead their countries into the future. So maybe the fact that we think wisdom and experience looks a particular way might be one of the reasons we in somebody jam we in. Because the first thing we do when we see a young politician is be like, where you come out from? Where she come out from?
What make he qualified to talk on this?
How we do even go so far? What she do?
No, but that's our next serious part of it that we really ever take stock of. So I listened to another post by one of our past ministers, and he spoke of sorry, the current minister not having the correct persons around him to give him sound advice. And then he started to call persons that he could look to. And it's retired this, retired that, retired this. And it's like, so do we not have anybody who is currently in a post that is suitable? Why is it that the only persons that you are suggesting to give the advice is retired people? And it went down about 6 names.
Yeah. No, I could agree to some extent, because you see, there is a space for mentorship and succession planning where the advice of experienced counsel could benefit the current crop. They're responsible for the execution of said duties. Now, I'm not saying that everybody who ready for retirement, you kick them into a special project and bring them back on as a contractor for years. What I'm saying is that we need to integrate our mentorship and the experienced leadership into the operational process, so that the people who are going to assume leadership or even currently in leadership have access to the experience, because you learn a lot more by getting something wrong than from getting it right all the time. And experience usually comes from having made bad decisions.
You know what would be very fun? A very fun show for us to do, Ricardo?
What's up?
The living room presents a budget.
Very interesting. Go on.
And why I say it's fun, it's because from our point of commentary, we pose different views on a lot of things.
Yeah. I think people would be amazed at how much we don't agree on things.
Correct.
Right, not necessarily don't agree, but how differently we could see the same thing.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
And why I think it would be a very interesting thing for us to do. One, it'll give us an exercise in terms of putting out ideas into the sphere. Because everybody now provides commentary, but provides it from a negative perspective and doesn't put solutions out there.
Not everybody.
Not everybody, sorry.
Some kind of exclusivistic terms.
Sorry.
Go ahead. There
is a part of our population, or social media population, that only puts out negative commentary without feedback, or feedback with solutions. There's also a part of our population that only puts out positive feedback. But we are at a point where, as a population, as a whole, we need to speak up and put things into the domain that hopefully the policymakers do pick them up.
You know what? I'm going to practice the pause and say you're right. You're right. Because WAC has, I believe, an increasing leadership, a growing listenership, And I'm saying, I believe, because this is anecdotal data at best, right? I don't have the numbers for it. But I could tell you that more and more I'm getting feedback from people that they hear in WAC in more and more cars than they
used to.
Yeah. Right?
Yeah.
So I'm just saying, it's anecdotal data at best, but I believe the WAC's listenership is growing. And
half of the most.
Half of the... Sir.
I don't think I'll ever let that one go. Never.
It's a brilliant one. You know, and that's what I'm talking about prestidigitation, because you know what? Aaron, out of everything that he said and didn't say, that is a thing that we held on to.
Oh no, there's a lot more I could say, because I told you I watched the entire 5 days. Bar 10 hours.
You know what? I appreciate that. And the thing is, you probably did the exception more than the norm. But I appreciate that. So what I'm also saying is that WAC has an increasing listenership. And I want to put something out there. There is a very real possibility that the heads, right, the powers that be, might hear something if enough of the conversation was about it. I also believe that position can be supplemented by another one. And the people who have these ideas become the powers that be. We are talking about brain drain as being a problem. and that Trinidad and Tobago as a soil is not fertile enough for the seeds that can be planted, which would explain why people go all over. Trinis go everywhere else in the world and succeed on levels that they do not in Trinidad and Tobago. I think if we facilitate systems that allow for the people who have ideas and innovation to succeed in Trinidad and Tobago, then we will have a better crop of politicians to choose from. And even if the problem is not the politicians themselves as individuals, but there would be an improvement in the political system. So I hear you, and I add on.
My point to add to that as well is standardization. It cannot be that every 5 years, government in, government out, there's a change in our alignment.
Yeah.
Because
we've been saying it for years, Aaron, that we need a national plan that functions
that
beyond
supersedes,
the political term. Yeah.
right? Now, and I wasn't even getting to that national plan. I was getting into standardization of ministries and utilities. And I use those words very strictly here. The standardizations of ministries, because you can't establish a ministry now and then in 5 years, should this party not be in power, that ministry goes
That ministry
defunct.
do exist. Yeah, right.
And then if they win in 10 years, it comes back in. And then during the Standing Finance Committee, you try to blame the persons for leaving it in a mess when it didn't exist. If we have strict guidelines stating that these are the 15 ministries that govern our country, you know for sure for the foreseeable future, that is what we're going with.
Right.
So standardization.
That's a good point.
And then the second thing why I say utilities, we have come to a point where Trinidad and Tobago do having some of the lowest utility rates in the region.
Subsidized.
Well, I didn't want to say that word because you know that's like the fourth national word of Trinidad and Tobago.
That is the only reason they're that low, because they're subsidized.
Right? We have yet to find a point where we have begun to divest the way in which we produce those utilities. Why are we not looking into seriously looking into wind farming? Why are we not seriously looking into the process generating or harvesting energy from waves? Why are we not looking all these different things? But you know why? Again, if you have been listening to the living room from years now, you would hear me say it. How much of our budget is recurrent expenditure? We don't have room for research and development. And if we have room for research and development, then the people who we want to succeed in roles would have the room to do it.
Yeah, if I'm not mistaken, the last numbers we got in terms of how much of our budget dedicated to research and development was like 0.03 or something like that.
That is so much people paying Green Fund levy.
Fun.
It is I know we say it's an exercise for another episode. I don't know if we'll ever do that episode, or if we won't, I don't know what is going to happen, because anything could happen. Next week we could end up interviewing, I don't know, somebody else.
Okay, sorry, Trinidad and Tobago. This is from, what was the source of this? From the globaleconomy.com. And from tradingeconomics.com. Yeah, research and development expenditure of the GDP in Trinidad and Tobago is reported at 0.0478% in 2022, according to the World Bank. Right. So less than
0.05.
Yeah,
Less than 1%.
less that. You how much? Do you have any idea how much less than 1% that is? 0.05. Not 5%. Not 1%.
No, sorry.
1/20th of 1%.
That's 1/20th of a percent. And if our budget for ease of maths is $60 billion, 0.05
Yeah, do the Aaron first so that Aaron don't tell me he's our accountant and you ain't forget your answer that yet.
Brother man, that have nothing to do with accounts. That is mental, and that the amount of zeros that is, brother man, I can't hurt my head that much right now. It's a little bit of money. Right? So we can't be wanting to talk big tanto thing and talk about bringing our overseas professionals back with that smaller research and development project. Yes, we know the data is from 2022, but I can guess that not a lot has changed.
0.05% by 60 billion. Now, how much zeros that is?
60 billion?
Yeah.
9. Well,
Yeah,
after the
that's
60.
60,000. 60 million. Right. Wow, that's $30 million. $30 million out of a $60 billion budget. In the grand scheme of things, how much is $30 million in research and development?
I not tell. Because that'll have to be spread across different ministries. But if we standardize the ministries of 15, that's 2 million a ministry per year. And if you do want to further break that down, that is just about $1.33 million or $1.16 million a month. Well, it's no kind of money.
Although I ain't gonna mind getting 1 point something million dollars a month. I just say I will research anything only want to.
Nah, but
Aaron, I get it. I know people might think we all over the place today, but it's really because we're trying to not talk about the elephants in the room. We have enough people doing that already. Right. I wanna
we, as usual, we put in our own spin on speaking of current affairs.
Yeah. Again, if you wanted a straight shot down the middle, it have places for that, right? If you want to meander a little bit, if you want to see where your thoughts could go, we put into bad manners. It's a kind of high man talk we talking here. And I don't mean high in terms of inebriation or sobriety. I mean high in terms of we trying to put additional layers of thought into the thing.
You had a real dissect it.
You had to dissect it. You understand? You had to dissect it. Because all jokes aside, there are enough platforms for there are a lot of people who are not thinking as much about what they're saying. We have a responsibility to the radio station, to the broadcast license, to the listeners to think a little bit more. On our private time, we could say what we want, how we want, but on the people at them airwaves, and in terms of national interest, we have to put a little extra thought into it, because at our age, there's a very real possibility that Aaron and I might be in media and communications in Trinidad and Tobago for another 40 years of our lives.
How long?
Another 40.
Brother man, if it's one thing about me, once everything goes well within my life, I would like to comfortably retire by the age of 62.
Hey, congratulations. I respect that. However, I am of the belief that there are things that I am going to do until I die. I might retire from jobs. I don't think that means I will ever actually retire from communication.
Now, I also am of the view that you need to train the next generation.
Would.
So, God's willing, by the time I hit 50, no offense to Ricardo, if I'm still here doing the living room, it wouldn't be with Ricardo. It will be with somebody who's coming up in their 20s and wants to learn a platform like this. Because at some point, you have to be able to say, here, what's going on? This is yours. I'm handing this over to you right now.
I would like if you hand over that phone to me. That looks like a very nice phone.
The battery actually starting to battery.
Oh no. To debatterize.
Yeah. Right here now. If it's one thing that continues to peeve me within today's world,
is the words I make up. Go on, listening.
I try to ignore that word, seriously. What continues to peeve me in this world is as soon as a new phone within the line comes out, all of a sudden your phone is start to glitch.
Sir. Anyway, I'm not even going down that road. but that is an actual business practice.
Well, I know that. I know that. But we didn't want to go too much into it.
It happened. Any road being going on this evening.
Of course not.
But sorry. Let me let you finish. Go ahead, sir.
One thing I would say is we just as a people, we need to be mindful. We need to be careful. This weekend, when I went to the grocery on Saturday morning, the grocery has a special 5 cases of water for $100. Right? There were about 10 cases left. Usually every other week or third week, I purchase 2 cases of water. So I went for my usual amount. So I put my 2 in my trolley and I'm walking up to the cash. 3 people come in at the same time trying to purchase water. A gentleman picks up 5 cases, which would mean that 3 cases have to now be distributed between the other 2 persons. While in the line to cash, the gentleman says, I don't really need these 5 cases, but you know how the things stay. So I'm buying 5 cases. And we have to be caring for our fellow man. If you know you don't need it, share it. I'm saying it again. If you know you don't need it, share it. Because the other person may need it more than you.
So you're talking about mindfulness and consideration.
Just like I was talking about tact earlier.
Noted. I agree with you. On Friday evening, I went to the grocery to pick up some stuff because it made more sense than waiting for Saturday morning with the level of anxiety that was going on. The reality is that crisis stimulates economy here.
Right here now.
Crisis stimulates economy. I'll leave it that there. I want all it to hear me plain. I'm saying this in big. I've seen it in big. There is legitimate cause for wisdom. There's legitimate cause for concern. I am not responding to a spirit of fear. I am functioning under the sound mind aspect of this thing. Right? It hit me, and I Lord had to repent. Because you know what, Aaron? We were at the end of October, the beginning of November, with a record-breaking hurricane in our region. And this was the first time I was in the grocery picking up water. As in, making sure that I had enough water put down. I had been horribly prepared for disaster or crisis. Now, here the catch. You're seeing people buying water and candles. You're seeing people in the grocery. It's also month end. You're seeing people buying candles. It was also Halloween, Halloween, what's it
All
called?
Saints and All Souls.
All Saints and All Souls. But I'm saying the way that the information was presented also fueled the fervor with which people were willing to depart with their finances. What I'm saying is that let us be wise, prayerful, and prepared. And
But wise.
prepared.
But
Right,
wise.
but let's do so with wisdom.
Now, let me add to that, and it goes back to our first point about clear and concise communication. And Mr. Breadman, I'm serious.
Yeah, I wanted to get sweet bread.
Serious.
Yeah, I haven't eaten a sweet bread in
2
months. No, it's been a while. But anyway, go ahead. I've been listening.
We always talk about completeness in communication here in the living room. And last week's show, we would have touched on different points in time of our history when U.S. naval ships would have docked on our shores. And the reason why I'm choosing this as my closing statement today is because if a press release released via social media or news channels or whatever it may be had come out and said the ship is going to dock And at the end of the press release, put, this is not an unfamiliar exercise. This has happened on previous occasions, such as, and list out some of the occasions.
It's very thoughtful of you, Aaron.
That would help quell fears. Or it would remove opportunities for anxiety. It would remove opportunities for interpretation or subsequent misinformation.
That's right.
What we need to do within this time, complete statements. Again, I might be asking for plenty. But if 1 in 4 comes out as complete as it could be, 25% may seem like failing, but it is still an improvement of 25%.
Yeah. I got you, bro. Yeah. I agree with you, Aaron. I agree with you. Which is why in the living room, again,
Something that doesn't happen often.
We try to function. We appear to meander, but it's always around a central topic. Because I also believe that the free-flowing, the drift of a conversation can be a beautiful thing. It's an artistic thing. The right conversation is poetry. It is rhythmic, right? I've looked at something we've done over the years, Aaron, and while it might look as if we drift into monologue several times, do you know that even our longest monologue lands somewhere between 3 to 4 minutes? It is only if we get into something that is personally motivated, richly personally motivated, we might cross 5 minutes and go into 6. So what that says is that in any conversation we have in a living room, the longest it will take before the other person starts speaking is 6 minutes, and the average of monologue is about 3. We instinctively know when, hey, let me let the other person breathe, and they get in. And sometimes one of us might surrender that spot to the other, and then we drift back into a shortened version where I might talk for a minute and a half, or you might talk for a minute and a half, and then the other person talks for an additional. There's a rhythm that a good conversation has, and we share this with the listeners, which is why those who stay on, I mean, they might be educated and entertained, or they might just tolerate it. But you know what it also does? It enriches. One way or another, 2 young black men having a mindful conversation about the experiences. As I told you, if I'm going to be doing this for another 40 years, Aaron, I will look back on myself now and say that I was young. So I just being, was it proactive?
Context.
Yeah. Right. But what I'm saying is that I hope that we enrich for those who stay on and listen in its entirety. For those who stop to get dinner or go to take a 5 before Mr. Desmond does the big band, I respect that as well. For those who probably just want something lighter than what we might offer, that's fine. But for those of you who do listen to the living room, for those of you who do give the feedback, for those of you who do stop us and say, hey, all you're doing a big thing there, boy, keep it up. I appreciate all you. Because you know what the thing about it is, Aaron, there will be a point in time when what we have to say is the preferred meal of choice. There will be a point in time where people will come to the living room because they know that what comes out of the living room has nourishment. So I appreciate you all for giving us this space and for this air and this encouragement, because plain talk bad manners, it can't always be cotton candy. You realize the number of memes have dropped dramatically in the past, the number of memes and skits. Like, when people start taking things seriously, Aaron, they'll be like, right, well, those guys have always been this way. What are they saying?
No, the thing is that we have a proclivity sometimes for being serious in issues when it's not even viewed as an issue on a national scale. But one of the mottos inside the living room is that we try to have casual conversations on serious topics. And sometimes that serious topic may be unpleasant for you to listen to because one, it may be close to home for you, or two, you're just not ready to have that yet. Because we have to accept that escapism is real. And there are times when I could speak for myself, I can't speak for Ricardo. I just tune out. I put on whatever music it may be and I tune out because it is overbearing. And now, regardless of what frequency you listen to, because we have to accept that though we put it forward that more people listen to WAC, there is still a part of our population that doesn't even know that WAC exists. So persons listen where they may, and sometimes it's like, hey, I just don't want to hear anything. Let me just listen to music. Or let me drive home in silence. Which some people tell me I'm a psychopath for, but silence sometimes is golden.
That is unfair. There's so many other reasons I could consider you a psychopath. Anyway, actively listening.
And that is how we end tonight's show. It was a pleasure. It was a blast. I'm sorry it couldn't last. Mr. Desmond is up next with the Big Band on the True Nation station. You can catch me again this Friday. I will be back on Friday, please God. Inside the Friday Night Lime is November, so we're starting to introduce some parang into the mix. Ricardo, you coming on parang on Friday night?
Yeah, that is a strong possibility.
Yeah, we could. I think mommy a black cake, you know.
Yes, I will be there.
Wow. There was a come.
You understand, right? When the auntie Jola, whether she cook it, bake it, even if she buy it, it tastes better. All I'm saying is count my eat. So.
Nah, very, yeah. Sunday, I got some, I ate a pastel. Winning.
Oh, you're eating pastel in October and November, I think?
November.
Yeah. Man, this is Ricardo Mitchell, the 10 City Sage, and I want to thank you guys for joining us in the living room. Remember, guys, the hourglass is opaque. We don't know how much time remains, so whatever you're doing, be good and stay safe. And you know what, as best as possible, take it light, but take it serious.
That's like the greatest oxymoron ever.
Hey, if there's one thing, Aaron, I bought an oxymoron life. I bought an oxymoron life.
I was going to say something about
I know you guys say something in here.
Hey, Mr. Desmond is up next. Yeah. Mr. Desmond here already, and he watching and be like, why they don't come out my room? Exactly.
Hey, by the way, I wear this jersey because I'm probably going to win another All Force tournament on Sunday. Just throwing it out there. Big up BGST team.
So, I can't get invited at the All Force?
Hey, you know, the members are allowed to have a non-member partner. I'll get ours.
I serious, and you know what I mean by All Force?
I serious, long time we ain't get the opposition a chance to beat we, so come in.
Have a good night, everybody.
From ever since time began, has been inflicted time and again by man against fellow man. Yet man wouldn't learn from history. It makes him more violent, producing deadly weaponry with nothing but evil intent. So the war could never be over. Peace will never be seen, long as man in his quest for power keep destroying fellow human beings. Fellow human beings, I'm telling you, nobody, oh nobody, when you really think of it, nobody wins a war, because the agony of defeat will linger, nations still hating one another and superpowers, they're looking for more power, the money system, disruption of foreign trade, people turning against their leaders for the blunders that they have made, environmental pollution, radiation taking its course, and the thousands that die in battle. Oh, what a waste of human resource. Of course, I'm telling you, nobody, oh, nobody, when you really think of it, nobody wins a war. The brutal clash of ideologies, carnage and social anarchy, and life reduced to pitiful dimensions. The falling back of progress and growth for entire generation. Sister, the war will go on. It cannot be won. No, 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 the war will go on. It cannot be won. War is just like a racket. It pays dividends for a few. But what does it profit the masses? I mean laymen like me and you. While the leaders playing their chess games, using the masses as pawn with political propaganda, the massacre still goes on. The soldiers, they never start it, but they give their lives easily, while the leaders are in a safe place working out strategy. So you see, I'm telling you, nobody, oh, nobody, when you really look at it, nobody wins a war. It has been the passage of history with the blood of the weak and the mighty. Great, great cultures vanish completely. War can create and destroy political boundaries as it goes on. Sister, it cannot be won. The war will go on. No, 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 the war will go on. It cannot be won. The object of war is simple. Just conquer and take over. It doesn't matter how many people get wiped out in the massacre. The enemy must be vanquished. The battle has to be won. But the conflict will never be over, cause the agony